What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and I'm having a really tough time trying to talk right now. There's been this tooth that I've been dealing with for the longest damn time since being locked up in prison. This tooth has just been a nightmare for me. And today I actually got to go to the dentist and get this tooth pulled. Dentists are one of the things that I fear more than anything. Going to the dentist and getting strip searched in prison. Those two things scare me a lot. Hell, I'm gonna have a hard time trying to be funny in this video just because of the way this tooth is feeling. It's really swollen in the back of my mouth. If I'm slurring or anything like that, just please bear with me. Today is a really busy day here on After Prison Show because not only am I dealing with this tooth that is absolutely destroying the way my face is feeling right now, but also this afternoon I have to go meet with the lawyer that I intend to hire for Dave. Now notice how I say intend to hire. I have no idea how this meeting is going to go with this guy. All I know is this is the lawyer that everyone talks about while locked up. Hey, you need to go get this guy. And allegedly, this guy is really good when it comes to probation violations. I have no idea how much this is going to cost. I don't know anything, but I will be finding out this afternoon when we go meet with him. And this meeting is definitely going to be pretty crazy considering the fact that at noon, I go get this tooth pulled. And then later on this afternoon, I meet with the lawyer. I can imagine I will be in this lawyer's office talking to him like, oh my God, that hurts so bad. And because of this tooth situation that I'm dealing with right now, the topic of this video is definitely gonna be the prison dentist. You know, after I get this tooth pulled, I'm not even sure like how long I'm gonna be down in terms of getting back to actually shooting videos. And you would think that with everything that I've been going through lately, I mean, this is only like the creme de la creme right here. Friday, I got tasered and maced. And then over the weekend, my tooth broke even more than it already was. And now I'm dealing with this excruciating shooting pain in my mouth. Before we get into this, I did want to talk a little bit about what we did on Friday with the taser, with getting maced. And the first thing that I want to say in relation to that is thank you for everyone who supported that, who donated to that. It really showed just how much you guys care about helping Dave in the situation that he's in. And it also kind of showed me that there were a lot of people who were ready to see Joe get tasered and also maced at the same time. But I haven't been able to give you guys any sort of a follow-up since then. I mean, I tweeted something about me being okay about 2 hours after the live stream ended, letting you guys know, hey, I'm alive. I made it through getting maced, but I want to talk just a little bit about what all of that was really like. Now, when it actually came to the mace, believe me, the mace was way worse than the taser. But when I was actually maced, as soon as this stuff hit my eyes, I mean, I was immediately blinded. Even if I had my eyes open, there was no way in hell I was going to be able to keep them open very long. Because again, as soon as that mace was sprayed across my face, literally my eyes swelled shut immediately. And the heat and burn that followed pretty much instantaneously, it literally felt like 1,000-degree fire was burning right on my face. And I know people said that I should have had my eyes open when this mace was sprayed, but let me assure you that even with my eyes closed, no sooner than I was sprayed, this stuff literally seeped right through my eyelids onto my eyes. And this, without a doubt, was the worst pain that I've ever felt in my life. But the pain that I'm feeling from this tooth today is definitely a close second to what that mace felt like. Within the first 30 seconds of being maced, I could not breathe at all. After doing all of the research that I did preparing to do this, a lot of what I read about how to handle getting maced said the most important thing that you must do is not panic. And I gotta tell you that when your face literally feels like it's on fire, and then that fire is going down into your throat and into your nasal passage, and you can actually feel both of those two things swelling up, making breathing almost impossible. Not panicking when you feel like you cannot breathe is not very easy to do at all. After about the first 5 or 10 minutes of dealing with this breathing issue, really trying to control my breathing throughout this, I was actually able to calm down and control my breathing to a certain degree. The problem with this though was when this mace was sprayed across my face, it got on the corner of my mouth. My mouth felt like it was swelled up, and for whatever reason I took my tongue, touched my tongue to the corner of my mouth, and then this put all of that hellfire burning right there inside of my mouth again. Now, we had a lot of things on standby to try to help me through this situation. We had cut up lemons that they say you need to suck on when the breathing feels impossible. I never even used the lemons. I probably should have. But we also had milk right there that we poured on a towel that I could put to my eyes. And we also had soapy water as well, like dish soap mixed with water. These were all things that we read about that could help you whenever you're getting maced. But again, just think about the fact that while guys are locked up, they don't have access to any of these things at all. So when they get maced while locked locked up, I can't even imagine having to endure that pain and burning feeling for however long it lasts until it actually starts to go away on its own. But we did use all of these things that we had. The milk was definitely helping at first, at least a little bit. And then by the time I actually started to get through all of this, the soapy water definitely was working for me. In the beginning, it wasn't, but more towards the end of this, it actually helped me get through this. It literally took me like 2 hours before I was even able to open my eyes. And I'm going to show you a couple of pictures that I took of my face after I was actually able to finally open my eyes. I was going to post these pictures on Instagram. I just never did. And I decided to keep these pictures for this video. But nevertheless, the burning that came from this mace finally did subside again after about 2 hours. This was by far the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And to just think that when you get sprayed with this, there's absolutely nothing you could do in that moment except just take it. It is definitely a scary and painful thing to endure, and I do hope that by us doing this and showcasing what this was like, we were able to give all of you a better idea of what guys who are locked up who go through this actually experience. But moving on from that now, we're going to switch gears and talk about going to see a prison dentist. Throughout all of the time that I spent locked up, I had plenty of dental nightmare experiences. Times that I had cavities and toothaches so bad that it was just almost as much as I could possibly take. And if I could relate that pain to anything, feeling excruciating pain that you can't do anything about, well, it would be kind of similar to getting maced. The burning on my eyes right now is the worst. It feels like absolute lava on my face. But anytime that you have an issue involving your teeth while locked up, the first thing that you have to do is you have to fill out a medical request form. It's just a piece of paper that you check off dental. You write whatever your situation is. Hey, I can't feel my face right now. My tooth is in so much pain that my face is swollen up to the size of a baseball. And believe me, that is something that I have actually seen more than a few times, where guys who are having dental emergencies have their faces swell up so bad it almost looks like they've got a damn baseball inside of their mouth. But once you fill out this medical request form to be sent to medical, they've only got like 24 hours, maybe 48 hours to respond to that request. The crazy thing about it is though, whereas a medical request form, they've got 24 hours or 48 hours to respond to that, and in most cases, they will try to see you within that time frame. But when it comes to a dental situation, they may respond to that request form, but then you're then put on a waiting list to actually see the dentist. And you will not believe how long the waiting list for the dentist can actually take while locked up. The very last time that I personally went through a dental situation while locked up, I had a tooth that had a cavity in it, and it was this same exact tooth that I'm going to get pulled out today. But when I filled out that medical request form putting dental, hey, I got a cavity, it hurts really bad, I need to see the dentist. Within 24 to 48 hours, they responded to this request, but the only thing that they did while responding to it was say, you've been put on the waiting list to see the dentist. And with that, there's no time frame that they give you as to how long it will actually take for the dentist to see you. And in this situation with this tooth right here, it literally took 10 months for me to be able to see the dentist, almost an entire year. By the time they had actually called me to medical, I had already forgotten that I had put this request in. I had been dealing with this pain in my mouth for almost a year at this point and had been buying so much Tylenol off of commissary, literally chewing up Tylenol pills in prison on this back tooth, and that almost became like second nature. I wasn't even thinking about the dentist anymore. Hell, I had already completely forgotten about the dentist, probably also assuming that the dentist had forgotten about me. But when they called me to medical again after 10 months since filling out that request form, I literally thought the reason they were calling me down there was to take a drug test. Because in a lot of cases, when they drug test in prison, medical is one of the many places they're going to call you to administer those drug tests. Guerrero, report to medical. Why are they calling me to medical? Well, I guess it must be a drug test. Now, it gets even crazier than this, because when I do go to medical and find out that I'm not going down here for a drug test and I'm actually here to see the dentist with a whole bunch of other guys who have been waiting probably just as long, if not longer. In fact, I think I remember there was a guy down there that told me he had filled out his medical request form something like 13 months prior to him actually sitting in medical with me, waiting to see the dentist on this day. But what I'm about to tell you just makes going to see a prison dentist like absolutely mind-boggling. But when I was finally called back there to go sit in the little dentist chair and have the dentist look at my tooth and tell me, man, this tooth looks really bad. We need to do something about this right now. And as he's telling me this, I'm thinking to myself, you're damn right. In fact, I filled out this medical request form to see you almost an entire year ago. I can only imagine what a tooth looks like that needs immediate attention that goes unchecked for almost a year. Yes, this tooth needs something done to it right now. But he didn't do a damn thing. At least not on this day. Because the only thing that this visit here was for him to look at this tooth and realize whether or not he actually needed to do something to it. Now, I don't know if this was because of the fact that maybe people fill out medical request forms for situations that might not require medical attention, or maybe in more cases, doctors and dentists while locked up tend to think that sort of thing, which is probably why there's so many situations where guys actually die in some cases or even need to be rushed to the hospital because their situations aren't taken as seriously as they need be. But again, all this dentist did 10 months after me filling out this medical request form to see him about this tooth was looked inside my mouth, said, damn, that looks really bad. We're gonna need to do something about that. Great. We're gonna do it right now, right? Right now? No, we're not actually. In fact, he rescheduled me to come back, I think it was like 2 weeks later, where he actually just drilled and filled my tooth. So it was actually something like 10 months and 2 weeks before I actually had anything done to this tooth that had been driving me crazy to the point where I was actually forced to chew up Tylenol every single day, like twice a day for almost a year. 10 months and 2 weeks before I actually was able to see a prison dentist where he drilled and filled this tooth, which by the way ended up costing me a whopping $10. And you know, if you think about that, spending $10 to get some dental work done, I mean, that's a damn good deal, right? Well, just imagine for a moment the type of dental work you're getting done for $10. Because it was just a few months ago where the filling that he had put in this tooth literally broke out as my tooth broke in half. Now, I have to say this as well, this medical procedure that I had done literally happened like only a few months before I was actually released from prison. So I've been home now for almost 2 years, and this dental procedure took place just a few months prior to me being released. So I guess for the $10 that I spent to have this dental procedure done, I mean, I guess that's a pretty good deal. At least what he did to my tooth lasted for about 2 years. But now the only thing left of this tooth is half of the tooth. This is a molar in the back of my mouth. And at this point, this tooth hurts so bad, it literally feels like I've been punched multiple repeated times in the side of my face. My gum is absolutely swollen at this point, maybe not to the size of a baseball. But I feel right now at this very moment that if I let this go on any longer, by the end of the week or maybe by midweek, my mouth will probably be looking like a lot of guys who are locked up in prison, who do write those medical request forms to see a dentist, who are having excruciating tooth pain, and because of that do actually walk around having their face swelled up like there's a baseball in their mouth. And real quick, just to add this one little thing to all of this, when guys do actually experience those type of dental emergencies and they fill out those request forms and aren't seen immediately by the dentist and their face is actually swelled up that damn much, it would almost seem to take an act of Congress for them to actually be able to go see the dentist. Because in those cases, they have to fill out grievances, which is a type of complaint form that has to actually be answered by a higher up within the hour, I think is what it is. And not only do they have to file a grievance, in some cases, they literally have to buck. Like say, I'm not doing anything at all that you want me to do until you actually get me to some sort of a doctor or dentist. And you know, it's kind of crazy to think that in a lot of those cases where guys are actually suffering from those type of severe medical emergencies, they literally have to risk getting in trouble just to get something done about it. And even if something is done about it, when they finally get back from having whatever done to them that they needed done, they can still face repercussions for doing whatever they needed to actually get the attention that they probably really needed. And in a lot of cases, that's what you actually have to do and risk. You literally have to risk getting in trouble because in some cases, those medical emergencies that you may have, whether it's dental or whatever, could very likely be the difference between life and death. My jaw and my tooth are so sore right now. With that, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. Hey, look, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about it. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world, never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace!